like with one another. So, all right, hold on. Because y'all know, the YouTube be starting this at the same time I'm talking, and all I hear is me. Like with one another. Okay, so the second chapter of the book goes right along with the first one. Like, I love it. I love when books are set up that way, when you don't feel like you have to keep going back and forth. It's just, it's there. It's ready for you. You know what I'm saying? So let me pull up my notes here. This second agreement that we had that we're going to be going through today is, and this is a big one. This is actually one of my favorite ones in the entire book because I related to it a lot, you know. It is, don't take anything personal. That's the second agreement that we're going to go through. And I feel like this is big. This is something that I've seen a lot within the mom community, or even in women in general, because we face a lot of adversity in life, you know, whether it's from society or from our families. Like, there's just always something going on, and they need to stop it. You know, it's International Women's Day, so we finna get ourselves right, okay? So to start off with, whenever we do take things personal, well, let me ask you this. Does anybody know, because you may not know yet, do you know if you're someone who does take things personally, or if you have in the past and you've grown from that? If that's you, drop a 7 in the chat. I'm gonna drop my 7, y'all. I'm gonna drop a few 7s. Okay. All right. I love the transparency, you guys. Always. So whenever we do take things personally, it's because part of us agrees with whatever was said. And it may not be something that we know is true about ourselves, but it's something that we're just like, damn, like that stung a little bit, that hurt. It has to be about me, or it has to be real. And when we accept that, opinion or whatever was said to us, we start to poison ourselves with this false narrative. And we get trapped in, they say, this dream of hell, but it's called personal importance. And personal importance is the maximum expression of selfishness, because we make the assumption that everything is about us, even when it's not. And I want to let you guys know that nothing other people do is because of you. And I feel like no matter how many times we hear it, we need to continue to hear it, because we still need a reminder. It's not you. And when we make the assumption that whatever they said about us or to us was real, we think that they know what's going on in our world, and they don't. And then we impose our world into their world. So when it comes to some of the moms that they may not be in business with us anymore, right? But a lot of the moms in this business that I've been able to speak to, they feel a lot of pressure from building the business, or having to trade, or having to hop on go lives, because the chats get overwhelming sometimes. And they think in their head, well, these people are, you know, young, they're single, they don't have families to take care of, they don't know my life. There's no way that they can tell me how to do business or how to do this or that. I'm not doing enough, because they don't know my life. And in those instances, we're taking things personally. We're not thinking about the bigger picture. Yes, we have lives that we're taking care of. We have little kids, we have grown kids, we have things and responsibilities that we have to do, but we're not the only ones with responsibilities just because we have children. So when you hear, oh, you're not getting on enough calls, and they're talking to a whole group of 50 to 100 people on a call, and you're sitting there upset about it, it's because you took it personal. They didn't shout you out and say, hey, Barbie, Where are you? We don't see you. They're just saying, hey guys, you make sure you're getting on the calls. If you're not, seeing success, then you're not doing it hard enough or whatever they say, right? But they didn't call you out. They didn't say you just took it that way because it may have stung because you may feel like you're not doing enough. But I feel like as I've grown in my motherhood, I always feel like I'm not doing enough. So when you hear it from other people that don't know your day to day, you feel it a little extra hard because you're already beating on yourself about it. You're already telling yourself, I'm not doing enough at my job. I'm not doing enough, to be there for my kids. And then now you're doing this, entrepreneurship journey. And you're like, now someone else is telling me I'm not doing enough. Fuck this. I don't want to do this no more. And I want you guys to be able to get away from that expectation that you hold to yourself or that you think other people are holding to you, because you're doing the best that you can with what you have. And you're still growing and learning to add more things onto your plate. I don't know if you guys ever seen, it's like a meme or like a little cartoony drawing that I've seen, that it's a mom, but she looks like an octopus because we are doing 1,000 things at one time. We have the baby in one hand. We got to wash clothes. We got to dry the clothes. We got to iron the clothes. We got to help them do homework. We got to cook the food. We got to put the food away. Like there's a lot of different things that's going on. And even if you're married and you have a husband that you take care of as well at home, that's a job. And we're always going to have a lot of things to do. So when you decide to do something different with your life and add something else, don't put so much pressure on yourself because you're already doing a lot. All you have to do really is reorganize and prioritize what needs my time the most, or how can I, because we only got 24 hours in a day, y'all. We're not going to get more. How can I make sure that I get everything done, but in a timely manner, to the point where I'm not burnt out by the end of the day and I'm not frustrated with everyone around me and I don't have enough time for myself. Because when you start to take care of yourself more, you take everything else on the outside less personally, because you know that you're taking care of yourself and that you're doing what you can. And going back into hearing things from other people that feel like insulting, or they feel like, they make us feel like shit. Other people do project onto you their own feelings. It's not always you, even if it stings and it hurts a little bit and you're like, damn, they kind of hit on the mark a little bit. It's still about them. It's still about whatever opinions they have. And their opinions come from the agreements that they have in their own lives, whatever beliefs they have. So you need to remember that too. When you hear those things from other people, do your best to just take it in, right? Because you're going to listen to them, right? Because we have no choice, because our ears are always open. But don't take it in personally. Don't, tie an emotion to it. When you don't tie an emotion to it, you just let it go. You're like, okay, you said what you said. Like, are you happy that you got it off your chest? Because I don't feel no type of way about it anymore. Can we move on? And it's better to do it this way because you're protecting yourself now. When you decide, right? Because now that we're becoming aware, we're making those decisions now to take things personally. If we continue to do so, you're making yourself easy prey for the people who want to hurt you and for the people who don't mean to hurt you. And remember, we talked about black magic on last week's call. And with black magic, that's just people who talk negatively, who speak a lot of poison. And we can't allow that poison to filter in to us, because then we're just going to continue to recycle the poison and then give it out to someone else. And that just becomes real ugly, and nobody wants that like at all. So we have to make sure that we're protecting ourselves. So we cannot afford to take anything personally, because we're on our journey of growth and self-love. The more we take in negative BS from other people, the worse it is for us. Hold on. Okay, so here are some signs if you've been taking things personal, because we may not know, or we may not think, we may think that we've adjusted ourselves enough, right? But some of the signs here I saw was like, damn, are you sure? Like, you sure that's part of it? So one of the signs is whenever someone says something to you, right? And you feel offended automatically, and your response or your reaction is to defend your beliefs because you want to be right, because you feel that need to be heard, because whatever they said was wrong and it offended you so much, you took it personal. I'm like, but sometimes we can have a debate on, our beliefs. No, it's all right. We don't have to have any more debates. um, or when you make something big out of something little. How many times have any of us done that? Like me, I've done that. And I don't like to do that, because at the end of the whole big blowout, now I got like pressure in my chest, and now I'm breathing hard, or the rest of my day is a little messed up because I decided to take something personal, or I decided to take something that someone else may have thought was real little, and I turned it into something big, something that it wasn't to begin with. Oh yeah, hold on, because I took notes and it moved. All right, so with that being said, you cannot care about what others think or say about you, whether it is positive or negative. And that's a little weird to hear, because we like, positive affirmations from other people. We like to hear that, and it does feel good. But whether we receive it or not, we cannot care about it. Why? Because we know who we are. It doesn't matter what you say. You can say, yes, Erica is amazing. She's wonderful. She's kind. Those are great things to hear, but it doesn't matter how she feels about whatever anyone else says, because she needs to know that within herself first. It's just an extra confirmation. Okay? We don't need it. Okay, we talked about projection. Okay, this one was interesting. Y'all gonna like this. What people say, right? When people say things and they may hurt you, it stings a little bit, right? And you feel like, damn, like you're hurting me. Why would you say something like that? Or why would you do something like that? It's not that they're hurting you. It's that whatever they said or what they did touched wounds that you have. So because you haven't yet healed from whatever you've been through in the past, you're continuing to hurt yourself. So that is why healing is very important, why we need to continue to be on that journey, so that, we don't get affected by other people's words or their actions, because we know that we're healing. We know that we're getting better. And that comes down to your point of view. How do you view yourself? And, or even other things and other people. And your point of view is always going to be your truth. No one else's. So no one is going to think like you. No one is going to walk like you, talk like you, act like you, because you are you. And we cannot expect others to be like us. So we need to be mindful as well when we're talking. because we don't need to react. We need to respond. So when you hear things, just take it in and think about, all right, what is my response going to be? And your response may even be nothing. And you guys, I actually had to deal with that a little bit this morning. I work early in the mornings, right? And I work with someone who's training me right now to do a job because I just started a new job, and they're not necessarily a people person, right? And they know that, and they're okay with that. And this morning, I was looking to have conversations with them, ask more about my job, and their response to me was not that kind. And it was a little bit like belittling, right? And I had to do my best not to take it personally. Because I'm like, I don't know what this person goes through in real life outside of work. So however they're speaking to me is really not about me. And I had to take a step back, like, okay, do I want to snap on this person right now because I feel like they're being disrespectful? Or do I want to just calm myself down, take the quiet route, and not make something bigger happen? Because that can happen very easily. And I was actually very proud of myself today for not reacting and for having a response of, look, I'm here to do a job. I'm here to learn the best I can from whoever I'm going to be trained by. And whether they like me or not does not matter. I'm here to do a job, and then I'm here to go home. Like, that's it. I do my job, I go home, I'm good. And y'all, that took a lot of strength. No lie. I'm someone who used to have like anger issues in life. So I've done a lot of growing. And because I'm quick to like, you don't know who you're talking to. Okay. And I was like, all right, like, chill out. This is not part of growth. If we want to grow, we cannot stoop back down to other people's levels just because they act however they act. You know what I'm saying? She said I will lose my cool. Yo, I was very close, but I was like, Lord, thank you for this job. I need this job. I'm not gonna have to work one-on-one with this person much longer. So I was like, just deal with it for however long you need to deal with it. Just like maybe another week, and then I'll be by myself where I don't need to be trained. So it's like, there's always something better that's gonna come when you handle situations like that. When you're able to keep your cool. God blesses you in other ways. He's like, look, I saw that BS that you was going through. Here you go, girl. Here's a blessing. Here's a blessing real quick. And like, it sounds funny, but it really happens like that. There's been other situations in life where God blesses me because I decided to keep my cool, and instead of reacting the way that I normally would, the way that I was, conditioned through life to react, because people can be cruel. Because some people do have intentions to hurt other people because of how they feel about themselves. That's where bullies come from, right? And we don't like bullies, and we don't like to deal with them. So I was not going to deal with no bullies today. And one thing that the 4 agreements talks about is when we do get upset and we do express our anger, it's because we're still dealing with fear. And like, fear is rooted in all of those negative emotions that we could possibly feel. And once you get rid of the fear, it's easier for you not to get upset about things. All right. Now we're going to talk about how we take things personal with ourselves. Like, literally us to us. And that starts with that negative self-talk. I know many of us may still do it, or may still be growing through it, right? Where we don't think too kindly of ourselves, or it's hard to gain a certain amount of confidence. Okay, Barbie, don't worry about it. Have a safe trip. Okay, so with negative self-talk, right? We talk down to ourselves, whether it's outside or in our minds, and we're not that confident in ourselves, whether it doesn't matter what it is, right? But we're still growing. And we need to be careful of what we even think in our minds, because our minds live in more than one dimension. You know how we talk about the spirit a lot? The spirit is everywhere, it's all around us, and it's multidimensional. So you even have to be aware of your own opinions of yourself and do your best not to take certain things personal, because you're not stupid. You're not, a bad mom. Because I know some of us think like that about ourselves too. Like, I'm not the greatest mom. I can't, I'm doing a terrible job, or I can't believe I did that. Or I'm not being a great business partner right now. I'm so bad at what I do. Should I even continue to do this journey? Like, we need to be very careful about what we're deciding to even hear within our mind, because we think more than we talk, all of us. And we have a choice, right? Whether or not to believe what we hear inside our minds. And the biggest problem with our mind is that there's 1,000 parts of our mind, and they're all speaking at the same time. Earlier, I talked about how we have so many things that we need to get through today. Those are different parts of our brain telling us, hey, we need to do this, 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 and this. Hey, why didn't you get to this, 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 and this? They're all trying to talk and gain our attention at the same time. So it's like, we need to prioritize that as well. Like, what are we going to do? What are we not going to do? And when you begin to do that, you're taking inventory of what your mind is saying, what is happening. And that is where you're able to uncover all of the conflicts within your mind. And when you do that, you feel better. You're starting to become more organized with your thoughts, so you can actually act different. You can move differently. You can move the way that you really want to, because you're figuring everything out in here first, which is the most important thing. All right, so I have a couple more points and then we're going to get off, right? So when you take things personally, right? You are actually setting yourself up to suffer. And in the real world, people support each other's suffering. And a lot of us know this because people would rather you stay at the job that you hate than start a business and go into entrepreneurship, no matter how many times you complain or how many times they complain about even their own lives. They would much rather sit there and talk about how much they don't like their lives, how much they don't like these people, how much they don't like what's going on in the world and the government and the news and this. Like, it's way too easy to get sucked in, but you're literally just sitting there, just, you're not suffering in silence because you're talking about it, but you're just suffering, doing nothing about it. And you can't expect to tell other people about your suffering and then them help you out of the situation or tell you that you're doing something right or wrong, because people lie to themselves. And we know that because sometimes we lie to ourselves. So we have to be mindful of even the individuals that we're talking to about what we're growing through, because they may not have our best interest at heart, and they'll support our suffering. Be like, man, yep, that's just how it is. Yep, you just got to stick it out. Yep, you just got to thug it out. And some of them are lying to you just because they're okay with seeing you suffer and struggle, because they know that they're suffering and that they're struggling. Now, to end this off, when you decide to make a strong habit of not taking things personally, anger, jealousy, and envy disappear. They go away. And you start to feel better. You start to feel good, and everything around you is good. You're starting to look at life and people and even your life, your future of what you actually want differently, because you know where you're going. You know how you feel about yourself and who you are, who that best version of yourself is, because you're stepping into her. And I mean, don't we all want to feel like that? Like everything is good all the time. Now, I'm not delusional. I know not everything is going to be good all the time, but it's going to be great. And then we're going to have our moments where we need to relearn things, and that's okay. And there's no shame in that. Yes, find the treasure in everything, everything. Even the times where you're having bad things happening to you, there's an opportunity there. There's an opportunity for you to grow. There's an opportunity for you to do something different. Or like, if anybody was on Morning Elevation, CEO Chassie always comes. I feel like literally every Tuesday is Women's Day, because she comes on in the morning and then we have our mom call at night. Like, it's dope. But this morning she said, when you fall or when you lose, right? Don't just get back up. We're too used to doing that. When you fall and you lose and you're down there, think about how you got there, what happened. And then after you've thought about it, what made you get there? When you're ready to get up, you have to move differently. You cannot stay the same, because you've now learned why you lost, why you failed. And we all know, in order to succeed, you have to fail first. If you're not failing, there's no chance of succeeding at all. So whenever you have stuff going on and, like your trading account is not buzzing the way you want it to, or people left your business and you feel like you're failing in business, it's because you're on your way to success. If everything was perfect and everybody's joining your business every single day and your trading account is always amazing and you've never had a loss, then something is going to happen. Honestly, I don't care what nobody says, because if you built it quick, it will fall even quicker. So be ready to fail so that you can succeed. And I know that every single one of you here is going to succeed, because you show up every single day for yourself and for your children, no matter what happens, no matter what life is throwing at you. And, life be throwing some curveballs, there be some things having you like, how the fuck? No. That's not happening in my life. Nope, not today. But it'll happen, and you just gotta take it, and you have to continue to learn how to thrive and be better. Yo, for real. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. And as long as we continue to do what the things that we know we want to do and need to do, we're going to be just fine. For real. But that is it for us today, guys. The recording is going to be on YouTube. Y'all already know. I'm about to drop it in the chat when we're done. And 10:15, that Pastor Collins call. I hope to see you guys on that one, because Pastor Collins be coming through with some different type of energy, and he be calling on people too. Okay. He be calling on people, letting them know what's about to happen in their life. And I'm excited to hear what he has to say, especially right before we go to West Palm. And anybody who's traveling out tonight or tomorrow, I wish you guys safe travels. I can't wait to see you guys there. We definitely need to like take a mom photo, like all of us together. So I'm excited for that. And that's it for me, guys. Drop loving your last name in the chat and you are free to go.